Thank you very much. We're happy to be here. First of all, I want to introduce again my fellows, Angel Mutoni, who's a Rwandan artist, and Khalil.
You.
Yes, I'll let you do the proper introduction of who you are, what you do, and as we talk about not only creating the youth culture with Rwandan hip hop, but the Rwandan creative economy. How are we developing? How emergent is it going to be? So, Khalil Rahman, first of all, who are you? What do you do?
Thank you, Obe. I hope this is the mic nasty say hard, man, because this is crazy for me to be here. Just to start, my name is Khalil Rahman, and growing up, grew up as a nerd, right? We were the computer kids. Because my background, I'm actually, by skills, I'm a graphic designer, but now with the experience, I am a creative director at 63 Inc., which is a creative agency that focuses on creative narratives. But that's boring work. The interesting work we do is at Kigali Multimedia Hub, which is, I'm a co-founder with my brother Malik, shout out to Malik, which is it's mainly like a hub or a center where artists meet. We have different facilities like a podcast studio, we have a recording studio, we have a video studio, a photography studio, we have an art gallery, an art workshop, and there's a bunch of facilities, and it's free for accessible to Rwandan youth. The reason why we made it free is so that, because kids can have a place where they can practice. Now, the reason why me particularly I was doing that, it comes from a space of lack, because when I was growing up, I was looking at a place where I can actually go get the practice, learn, kick it with the same people as I am, but I never got that chance. So with the traveling I did, I saw the world, I realized that the only thing that was lacking in this was that. So for now, it's my mission to establish very well the Kigali Multimedia Hub so that we can serve the creative economy here in Kigali. But as soon as we got the Kigali Multimedia on lock, we're going to try and see Musanze Multimedia Hub, Huye Multimedia Hub. Who knows, we could do Bujumbura Maputo Multimedia Hub. So this,
Yeah. So you were, before we get to Angel telling us, your journey, how you started, I like to say that Rwanda, especially the genre of hip hop, which is the one that you're mostly doing, it's still growing, it's a baby, as mostly say. What struggles did you go through starting off? I mean, I know you since 2011 and even before doing music. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey in music?
Well, first of all, hello everyone. Thank you for having me here. I'm excited, like you said. And I am Angel Mutoni, a rapper, singer, songwriter. And to answer your question, the struggles in hip hop, because I am a hip hop artist, although I like to say that I am an all-around artist, but one of the genres that I focus on is hip hop. And I'd like to say that in Rwanda, hip hop is something that has always been appreciated, respected, of course, but it hasn't had as much traction as other types of genres in music, as you would know. So it's been a journey of kind of trying to show a different side of what hip-hop really means and what the culture of hip-hop, from where it comes from. It obviously comes from America. But yeah, so I feel like for me, the journey hasn't been hasn't been a lot of fighting to prove that, hip-hop is something you listen to, but in terms of Rwanda, because the industry is still growing and we don't really have the big market like any genre you do. It's more of an all-around fight. It's not just because it's hip-hop, It's all-around fight. So I've never really focused on, I'm trying to push hip-hop. No, it's just more of like I'm trying to push music. So for me, that my journey has always been about the music, whatever genre, whatever type it is. And I started to go into my journey. I started music back in 2011 with a group of friends, and that's always how it starts. A group of friends, we were just recording, and I've always had a dream to become an artist. I've always wanted to make music. I wanted to become a singer before I became a rapper, but rapping was something that came out of finding my confidence. I found my confidence in being on stage and doing hip hop because it stems from poetry, and that's my background as well. So yeah, my journey has been long, but it has been nice to watch the industry grow while I'm also growing, because I've learned a lot. I've gained a lot of experience that when I watch other artists that are coming up now or that are working now, you see that I can say for myself that I'm proud I gained that experience before, because it's helped me get to where I am now in this moment. But also, I feel like there's still so much to be explored, especially in Rwanda. Like, it's very new, so there's so many possibilities compared to our neighbors. Not that they don't have possibilities, but more of like the industry, the music industry here is still kind of niche and still kind of small.
Yeah.
The genres are very specific. We don't have many categories of music, and that's something that I think if it is change is when it will expand globally and expand more. But so for me, I would say that I'm excited to see where things are going. Yeah, basically.
All right, getting back to you, Khalil, I think you're more knowledgeable as well on how the music industry has been. You've been working with different artists. Can you tell us a little bit more about your breakthrough into Kigali Multimedia Hub by already starting? You started 63 Inc., which was a creative agency. How did it get to the point you decided to create a hub for artists, and how has it been for you so far?
Yeah, so the journey to create the Kigali Multimedia Hub I think it has been something that I've always been on, unknowingly though. It's not like I knew what I was doing. It was something that I was always looking for, because even when I was traveling in Europe or Asia, I was always exploring like creative hubs, like people where creative people meet. And all the time when I would come back to Rwanda for holidays, even when I came back just to relocate, I liked that. So you'll find that me and a few fellows that we are hanging around, we are creatives, right? But there is no space where we can actually hang and create. And in the spaces where we would hang and create, we would always find that somebody's lacking a light. Maybe we are lacking like audio equipment. Something was missing. So when I came back, I started by corporate, because with the 63 Inc., what we are doing advertising and marketing work for corporates, for the banks and petrol stations, all kind of boring work. Sorry to my clients, but so it's not fulfilling, when I'm creating a video, or when I'm trying to think creatively, just so I can sell the newest credit card, or I'm trying to sell another type of fuel. It's not fulfilling for me. I'm a storyteller. I'm an artist, so I need another space where I can go and explore different angles that are not strictly about paying and stuff. So now that's where the idea came from, and we was like, what can we do? What can we do? Until we realized that we need to create a space where we can invite in different artists, different creatives, different technicians. They come. Now, the hub is not about serving the corporate world. It's more about getting together, getting our stories out, try to create as much as we can together, and then transform the creation we've done into money, right? So from 63 to Kigali Multimedia Hub, 63 is more like a sponsor for the Multimedia Hub, because what we're doing is we are taking all the money we are getting from doing commercials for banks, for all these corporate world, and then with this money we are investing back in the community with the artists at the hub, allowing them to use the space for free. there's a bunch of things we are doing there so that we can allow the creative to actually be in a space where they can create comfortably. Yeah.
Okay, so now getting back into the music scene, especially how we are trying to create a youth culture. I've got a chance to visit Kigali Multimedia Hub so many times, and I see it's not just about music. There's even there's fashion designers,
Yeah.
there's painters and all that.
Yeah.
So how do you think that whole ecosystem can become something? I mean, as we like to say here in Rwanda, it's still growing, especially hip hop that is still, it's in the shadow of the other genre. What has been the struggle, especially you have a recording studio as well?
Yeah.
You've worked with hip hop artists.
Yeah.
I think both of you will answer that question. What do you think is lacking? What more do we need to put emphasis on this specific subject?
Yeah. So with the multimedia hub, working with the musician, the whole ecosystem is, to me, there is no such thing as graphic design, video, music, or fashion. To me, it's all one world, right? But in this world, there is fashionistas, there is graphic designers, but we are all one market, right? So let's say, for example, if somebody come and they record a song, they're gonna need to take pictures for the cover, right? Then if they're gonna need to take pictures for the cover, they need to be styled, they need to look good. So we have a fashion house to style them. And after that, they can also get to the next facility and the next facility, which can allow them to have like a 360 experience without actually leaving the hub and for free. Yeah, now, there is two things that we are lacking, right? There are artists. Our country is really rich in terms of like talent. We have so many crazy talents, we all know, right? And there is also the business world, right? The business world, we also have like really great businessmen and we have a lot of opportunities, right? But there is a lack of a connection between the two, right? There is, on the side of the sponsors and the investors, there is their problem where they do not understand who they want to invest to. So they want to come to Angel because they want to invest in a female rapper, but they want to make her Cardi B, you know? And that's, I think that the corporate, the investors should understand that what they are investing in and giving it time to grow, right? So if you are investing in a Rwandan female rapper, you know she's not gonna go as much as any other demographic that's different from hers, right? And also, on the side of the talents, that means the creatives who are receiving, who are on the end where they're supposed to like take sponsorship, turn this sponsorship into a product that they can sell so that the sponsors can get the return on investment, right? Now, for the Rwandan artists, they don't really understand that concept, right? They think they are superstars. They think if you give them money, it's because you need them. I can give you a simple example. I won't mention the name, but last year I paid like 5 million Rwandan francs. That's like 5K USD for a video clip of an artist here in Rwanda, right? I directed it myself. Oh, now everybody knows who it is. Anyways, so directed it myself, paid everyone. Even the drinks were on me at the set, right? Now, see, that's an investment. Should be respected. So I called the guy this year for another small thing I had. It wasn't even free. I mean, the money wasn't too much, but it wasn't even free. The guy's like, no, bro, we can't do this collabo and stuff. So now, I wasn't expecting, when I invested in him, I wasn't expecting the return on investment in terms of like money, right? Because our industry is still small. I was expecting a quid pro quo, right? Favor by favor. So if I invest in you, then you should invest in me back. Now, if you don't do that back, then it's a turn-off. It's a turn-off to the investors because they're like, this guy is not valuing my contribution to his art, so I might rather put my money where it's respected, you know, where it's used and I'm gonna get a return. So I think if both sides, the investors understand who they are investing in and the artists also do their best to understand why they are being invested in,
yeah,
I think the gap will close.
I see where you're coming from. I think the problem is the professionalism that is lacking. We are lacking a lot of professionals in the industry, especially music. We need that link between the artists and the investors. Because it's not going to be the investor who's going to come to the artist directly and then make them understand how music works. So I think on that side, that's where Angel, especially you being in the game for a minute now, you know what you've been going through, what you lacked and everything. What would you tell us? What do you think we need more in this aspect, especially in hip hop and in music in general?
I mean, I feel like Kalilu said it all, to be honest. I would say as an artist, a lot of the time, it's also people trusting in your art, trusting in the vision. And sometimes convincing someone of the vision is hard. And so those collaborations tend to be, especially if you don't have a team backing you, helping you. When you're an upcoming artist, you don't have the money, you don't have all of the special effects to show that this is where I'm trying to get, this is how you can help me get there. So it's always about, it tends to be meeting the right person at the right time, being in the right place at the right time, or speaking to the right people some way, somehow. So it's hard to convince people about things sometimes. I would say this from personal experience. I'm not sure about how it works with other artists, but it has been my experience before. And then it's also, we don't talk amongst ourselves as well enough in the creative industry. It has started to happen now in Rwanda, where people are collaborating in fashion, music artists are collaborating with fashion artists, and videographers with different types of things are happening, right? So you see that happening now, but before, personally, this wasn't around. To collaborate even as musician, like if Kalilu was an artist musician, just for me to get a collabo on a song was very tough. So now I feel like the more you see collaborations amongst each other, the more we can talk about these things that he's talking about, the more we can learn and educate ourselves. And we need platforms like these where people can come and learn from other professionals from across the world, and kind of, because if we look at the Rwandan industry, a lot of it is freestyle. We haven't had that education of, we don't have a music, well, we have a music school now. We have a music school that's been working, but it's just or like workshops that happen, and then after that, disappear. Okay. You go to, you know what I mean? Like, it's always like a one-off, and then after that, you're like lost in the sauce. So I feel like there's that thing of like, we're still building ourselves in the education aspect of the music business. So it's hard to like, explain to people, like, invest in this. It's gonna be worth your while,
Yeah.
So as artists, what we have to do is actually push ourselves to get into those spaces and understand it ourselves before we make other people understand it as well. So hopefully that's what we're going to be working on in the next few years. And luckily we have the Kigali Hub, the Kigali Multimedia Hub, doing things like that, and we need more of those. We can't just have one, because people search for different types of, because there might be a lot of hip hop, let's say. So maybe someone doesn't feel comfortable being there. They want to go to an R&B kind of hub, or like, So we need a lot more of these spaces that let people that are interested to be in the music industry, young people like myself. When I was younger, I felt uncomfortable being in spaces because I hadn't found my voice, I hadn't found my sound. So like, how do you convince someone when you don't even really know? So we need those spaces for people to experiment, to find that voice that they want to find, even if they know they have it, but how do you find it? You need that time, that space, those people that will give you the time that will invest the time in you as well. And yeah, for that, I think we have quite a road to go in terms of the Rwandan industry, but I think we're getting there, and that's the positive of it all. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Angel.
Thank you.
Before I get to the last question and take a question from the audience, there's a lot of things we need to do to take it to the next level. I'll give you an example. There's what we're working on currently with Angel directly. We have a concert tomorrow with a super group. I would like to say plus 250, which is the code that represents Rwanda. It's a project we're working in partnership with Pan African Music, and we want to export. Shout out to yeah. So we want to export the local artists to the international level. Those are the problems we've seen, especially getting into collecting royalties, publishing, and all of those. We've been having master classes and workshop, which also we're working in partnership with Music in Africa. How are you going to take it to the next level without having to, how do I put this? Without having to sell our soul again as we used to do, by going to record labels, getting really, really bad deals. How are you doing it for yourself to get to the next level where Angel is going to be Angel that she really wants to be?
That's a good question. We're in the process of figuring that out. No, I think that as artists, like I said, it's about coming together and creating our own, I would say, world. Because when I look at, because a lot of it, not to make it political, but like a lot of it is a situation where it's like, you know how there's, what are they called, unions sometimes that are created when things are not going right. I feel like we get to a point where we need to do that as artists. We need to sit down together and be like, you know what? The amount of money that they're paying for these types of gigs doesn't work for us. We need to put a set an amount that makes sense, And for that's a whole other discussion, of course. But I think that that's the beginning of it all, is just literally having these conversations, but together in the same space and actually giving your time. And the way you were talking about the collective that we're doing right now, like giving, as much as we're all individual artists and we're doing our own thing, we're busy, but taking that time to kind of come together and create something different is something that puts us on another level, because it shows the world itself or the people around us that we are like a unified, people. And also the people that have been listening to me, have been listening to the other artists, now they end up coming to you, they end up coming, like we're creating this kind of, what would I say, how could I call it? Like, you know what I mean? We're creating this space that people can't break into or break up. And I think that that's the important thing for us in Rwanda specifically. I'm talking for our music industry. I think that's what's needed, because a lot of the times the people you were talking about that bring the money, the investors, the whatever, they have all these brand deals, all these ideas promoting all these events and stuff, but it's business. So obviously they're not really looking out for you. They need you for a specific thing. They need you for this and this. So if artists, we don't give ourselves, if we don't value what we're bringing, or we understand what we're bringing in the master classes that you're talking about, we're never gonna be able to get to that next level. We need to actually understand them, talk about them, deal with them, and up our professionalism as well, so that those people will be like, oh, these guys mean business. And I think that's what we're trying to work on right now. Yeah.
Yeah. If I might chip on that too, it's well, maybe most of people here knows, but to our guests who are not familiar with our history, as you all know, the Rwanda is 30 years old, right? Technically, we are 30 years old. We just started. The Bad Boy records or Def Jam records, they are older than our economy. Mm-hmm. Do you understand that? So we need also to understand that in as much as we are working hard as a country, but we are also healing. We are healing emotionally, we are healing physically, for sure, yeah. And most importantly, we are healing economically. So while we are doing this healing and we are doing this rebuilding, it's important to not just leave artists to be artists, right? Like, hey, Andrew, okay, go make the network, go sign there, go do that, right? We need to create, like we created everything from scratch in this country, right? everything from scratch. I was lucky enough to witness it, right? So we also need to create our industry from scratch where an artist is surrounded by managers, stylists, people who can actually make it a business, right? Because now, if you have the ecosystem around you, that you have like a support system, then it's gonna get harder for you, for the corporate, to take advantage of you.
Exactly.
And that's when now, if you are doing the unions, we're not gonna do a union without a good lawyer, right? So we need, the creative industry is not only for the drawing kids, the rappers and the skaters and the dreadheads no, we need lawyers, we need ties, we need business people like that. We can actually have our industry go up.
Thank you, Khalil. Yeah, no, you're right. Before we close our panel, if we can take 2 questions from the audience. Yes. Sorry?
No, wait, we've got a microphone. Go on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is John. First off, Angel, I feel your solid is your. I'm sorry. My question is directed at Khalil, but I would like to commend Angel for the music. Like, I came across your song "Carré." It was suggested by an ad, and I hated ads, but I really love the music, and I think I might be your newest super fan or something, because I went down the rabbit hole. But Khalil, the multimedia hub thing, I think it's super amazing too. I'm a writer, a songwriter. Back in Nigeria, I worked with some incredible hip-hop artists, and we made some beautiful music, but ever since I came here, I took a step back from that, and I really think I'd love to come check out the hub if you've got the time and
please,
the room for it.
No, we do.
You.
It's a public hub.
To shoot my shot here.
Yeah, guys, it's a public hub. It's in Nyarutarama, KG 517, next to Irembo. Everyone is welcome. We got a coffee shop too, but there are also alcoholic drinks.
Take the next question.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Kathy Boyd, Sonica Glasgow. I just wanted to ask Angel and Kalalu, you've both had a lot of successes, but what do you need now to take you to the next stage in your career? Because it's not necessarily money. What is it you need, please?
We need exposure, right? We need spaces like this. So shout out to Music in Africa for organizing these things. We need to meet you guys. We need you guys to come to the country and see what we're doing. Because if you remove the financial part, we're really doing good. We have like really good musicians. We have great painters, really good fashion. Like everything I'm wearing is made from the hub. You see how good I look, except the Crocs, right? But you see, we have everything. We just need people to come and consume.
I'm coming to see you before I leave on Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, okay?
Welcome.
I think he said it all. We need the exposure for sure. Same as an artist, I think that's what it is, and that's what these spaces are for us to be able to share our music with people that we normally wouldn't run into or talk to. And as for me, I have a flyer that I'm sending around everywhere that you guys can go check out my stuff on my website. And we need the support. There you go, that part. We need the support. We need the support and the exposure and the right form of exposure. I'd say as an artist, the articles, all of those things are very important for us. So yeah.
We've got 20 seconds and I close off. 20 seconds.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Matt, artist/lawyer. how do you guys estimate your market value? Because to approach like those big companies, they check the market value. They want to see what you can bring to the table, what you can bring to them. So how do you estimate your market value as an artist? Like how many people you can move, the streams, and people that come to your shows and things like that?
Oh man, Andrew, you wanna take this one? We don't.
No.
We really don't. This is a really sad answer, and it might sound a bit uninformed because of like the lack we have, but we don't. If a bank calls you, hopefully you're gonna hope the marketing manager knows you enough to know your value. Otherwise, they'll call you like, hey, we have $200. You take it or no? You're like, no. Okay, can you have your number of your other friend who does the same? And you're obliged to give it, because who am I to stop the bread for my friend?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, so there is no actual valuation of the market value. I mean, you might have an idea of what a person who's doing as much as you is valued in the region or in Africa or globally, but like on the actual market, you can't. Because if that was the case, we would be millionaires here. If I tell you the things we've done here, man, you'd think we have billions.
But that's where the education comes from. Like we still don't have that education of doing the market research and the statistics and all of those things. We don't have that in our system yet. So those are the things that we're learning, so we can get to a point where you can go to an investor and be like, here's my booklet, here's my PowerPoint, give me the money. Yeah.
Which is why what I was saying, we need you guys, the lawyers, right? You need to come and see, hey, bro, you're being ripped here. And somebody like you see, I was talking to some friends who are doing, their stand is right there at the interest. So they're actually doing very interesting stuff. They are collecting royalties of TikToks and stuff. Mm-hmm. I knew that was a thing, and I have so-called music label. You see?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. A round of applause for everyone, please. Yeah. Okay, as we close off, I'll remind you that we have a concert tomorrow at Mundi Center, and we have an exhibition, plus 250. You'll see the pictures hanging right at the foyer. And as we close off, thank you very much, Angel.
Thank you, guys. I also have a concert on Wednesday at Institut Français for those who will still be around. Please come through after you come for the Access Mundi tomorrow.
Yeah, and also on Saturday there is a songwriting camp, listening party at the Kigali Multimedia Hub at 6 o'clock. And I still can't believe I'm speaking after an STC.
I love it.